This video, we'll be talking about the phylum Echinodermata, that is the Echinoderms. The word Echinodermata is formed from two Greek words, that is echinos, spines, and derma, which means skins, which means the group of animals that we'll be looking at in this phylum, they have a spinous skin or a rough skin that look like they have like a spine in their whole skin. They are of interest because of all the invertebrates. They are considered to be the mostly closely related to the vertebrates or the chordates, and that is why we are actually interested in this group of animals. So let us go to the general characteristic of these animals. All existing echinoderms are marine, and they generally live in the bottom of the sea. Most of them are pelagic, that is free swimming, while few of them are sessile. You see, the body form vary from star, flat, spherical, or elongated. And many echinoderm bears spine and pincer, and that is where they got their name from. That is echinos, which means spine, and derma, which means skin. So they have a spine on their what? In their skin. What is the function of the spine? It is protective in function. Now, the larva of this group of animal is bilaterally symmetrical, but the adults they are pentaradiates. That is, their body is arranged in five or in the multiple of five. They usually have a complete digestive system, having two stomach, that is the cardiac stomach and the pyloric stomach. Now, the cardiac stomach has a distinguishing features, and these distinguishing features is that it can come out during the capture of the prey, that is the cardiac stomach. Now, remember I said they have spines through their body. So if you look at the structure of this particular Bristol star I have here, you will see that it is spinous. Look at all these things that we have here. So that is where they got their name Echinus. Echinus, which means spine, and derma, which means what? Which means skin. And I'll be showing you the diagram of some representative member of this group very soon. Instead of blood vascular system, the hema and perionate system represent open circulatory system. They exhibit a open circulatory system. They have a blood, but the blood has no respiratory pigments, and they have no hearts. In starfishes, there are dermal branchiae for gaseous exchange, which means because there is no respiratory pigment, they still need something for gaseous exchange. And what starfishes use for gaseous exchange is what we know as the dermal branchiae. And this dermal branchiae is finger-like, thin wall elongated structure present in the arboreal surface, that is around their stomach surface, and it is filled with coelomic fluid. They have coelom. Now, another characteristic is that specialized excretory system are absent, and nitrogenous waste is diffused out via the gills. And the nitrogenous waste is the ammonia. The nervous system consists of nerve ring, and they have no brain, which means the sense organ of adults is poorly developed. Development is indirect, and it includes a ciliated bilaterally symmetrical larva that undergo metamorphosis to change into a radially symmetry. Remember, I told you their radial symmetry is pentaradiates. That means they have five, like five, multiple of five. And they have a large coelom with a simple alimentary canal. There is no trace of metameric segmentation, just like annelids. You know, annelids have metameric segmentation, but there is no trace of metameric segmentation in echinoderm. That is one of the reasons why they are very closely related to chordates, because there is no metameric segmentation in chordate as well. Echinoderms are deuterostomes, and when we say deuterostome, which means their mouth developed before the anus developed before the mouth, just like the um, chordate as well. Just like in humans, the anus develop before the mouth, so we call them deuterostomes. Now, let us move to their water vascular system. Though I'll be talking about the unique features, the degenerate characters, as well as their relationship with the chordates. But now let us move to their water vascular system. This image that I'm showing now is like the anatomy of an asteroid, which is the asteroids, that is the starfish. And you can see the stomach, the central ring canal, digestive gland, metropoids, anus, radial canal, gonads, and in the gonads, in the ampulla, we have the ampulla, the podium, and the two foot. Now, how does this water vascular system works? You see, the water vascular system in echinoderms is unique, and it is an hydraulic system that is used for locomotion. So let me write somewhere. It is used for locomotion. It is used for attachments. It is used for food and waste transportation. Food and waste transportation. And finally, it is used for respiration as well. It is used for respiration. Now, you see what happened is that the water vascular system provides a water pressure that operates what we know as the tube feet. It operates the what? It provides a water pressure that operates the tube feet. The water from the environment moves into the body through what we know as the medullary. Look at it. We have the medullary here. So water in the environment move through the what? The medullary into what we know as the stone canal. But you can't see the stone canal here. So let me show you the stone canal. So look at it. From the medullary, it moves into the what? Into the stone canal that we have here. And the stone canal connects to the ring canal. So look at the one that we have here. That is the what? That is the ring canal. See, we have the ring canal around this side. So the stone canal is connected to the what? To the ring canal. Now, in each arm of the radial canal, so you can see that we have the radial canal as well. This is the radial canal. So this is it. From the what? From the medullary to the stone canal, which connects to the ring canal. That's connect to the what? To the radial canal. Now, the radial canal now give rise to two row of short and narrow canal known as the lateral canal. We have two of them. So in each radial canal, can you see that we have two lateral canal, and two lateral canal. Now, this lateral canal is attached to the base of the two foot. And what it does is that it provides a valve that prevents the backward flow of water into the radial canal. Now, the canals is like a network of pipe that is attached to a tube feet. It is like a what? A network of pipe that is attached to a tube feet. So look at it. Can you see that we have the tube foot here? Which means if you look at this structure now, this is the tube feet, this is the tube feet, this is the tube feet. Can you see now? Now, the 2 feet or the 2 foot, one foot, feet, multiple. So the 2 foot has an enlarged region. Look at it, the enlarged region that is up here. It is called the ampulla. Hmm? Then it has a middle tubular portion called the podium, and it has a lower disc called the sulca. So this is how it works. Medullary to the what? To the stone canal, to the which connect to the ring canal, which connect to the radial canal, and the radial canal it divides into the what? Into the lateral canal. The lateral canal connects to the 2 feet, and the 2 feet or the 2 foot has three parts: the enlarged portion, which is ampulla, the podium, which is like a tubular portion, and a disc, which is the sulca. Now, there's now something we call the Tiedemann body. Look at it, we have it here. Tiedemann body, what it does is that it produces amoebocytes. And what this amoebocytes does is that it circulates stuff throughout the body. Now, we also have something we call the Phylum vesicle. The Phylum vesicle, what it does is that it regulates pressure inside the ambulacral groove. I hope you get this. So this is the water vascular system of what? Of the echinoderms. We have the medullary to the stone canal, to the ring canal, to the radial canal, to the lateral canal, which is connected to the 2 feet. Then the 2 feet now has ampulla, podium, and sulca. And that is basically what we have for what? For the water vascular system of the echinoderms. Now let us move to the unique features of the echinoderms from the general characteristics we have seen. There is presence of spines and pellicillary. They have ambulacral system. They have the human system. They have mesodermal skeleton of carcerous splits. They are bilaterally symmetry and radial symmetry in adults. In larvae, they are bilateral symmetry, and in radial symmetry, they are in what? Adults. What are the degenerate characters? Which means what are the primitive characters of the echinoderms? They don't have head. They have simple sense organ because brain is absent. They have incomplete digestive tract in some forms and reduced circulatory system, and there is absence of excretory system in adults. What is now the resemblance with chordates? One of their resemblance is their radial and indeterminate cleavage. They also undergo cleavage. And also the gastrulation and invagination. Gastrulation and invagination of this group of animal. If we are going to do a video on embryology, and you will know what a cleavage is. You can check one of the shots that I've dropped before. You will see where I explain what a cleavage is, but we are still going to make a video on cleavage, gastrulation, and invagination, and other aspects of embryology. But just have that they are they resemble chordate based on their gastrulation and invagination, and the mouths derive as an ectodermal invagination. That is well known as the pterostom, like I mentioned. Are you getting me now? Now, the adult anus derive from the embryonic blastophore. You understand that very well when we get to the concept of embryology as well. Hmm? Now, that is what we have for the general characteristic and the unique features of the echinoderms. Now, let us move forward. What are now the classification of echinoderms? We have basically five classes of echinoderms. They show five distinct classes. We have the crinoidae, ophiuridae, echinoidae, holoturoidae, and asteroidae. I repeat, crinoidae, ophiuridae, echinoidae, holoturoidae, and asteroidae. Now, let us look at the extant phyla. They have three extant phyla, and these extant phyla include subphylum Asterozoa, subphylum Echinozoa, and subphylum Crinozoa. So under Asterozoa, we have Asteroidae and Ophiuridae. Under Echinozoa, we have Echinoidae and Holoturoidae. And under Crinozoa, we have the Crinoidae. Now, an example of Asteroidae is Asterias. That is the normal starfish that we know. Example of Ophiuridae is the Opiotrix. That is bridge star. Example of Echinoidae is the Echinus. The Echinus. That is example is the sand dollar or the sea urchins. An example, and we have Holoturoidae. Example is Cucumaria. That is sea cucumber. Example of crinoidae is antendon. That is the they call him sea feather or feather star. Yes, they call it feather star. So these are the classification of the echinoderms. Now let us look at the characteristics of each of these classes that we have in echinoderms. Let us talk about Asteroidae first. Body is star-like, like we know. Fan of Patrick and SpongeBob. We all know who Patrick is. Now, the body is star-like. They have five arms that are usually present and they are not sharply marked from the so this is the central disc. Can you see that their arm is not sharply marked? I will show you when we get to opiotrix. You will see that their own arm is sharply marked. And the larval form is a bipinnarian larva or brachylaria larva. Hmm? So their water vascular system follows the same as it follows the same as the general water vascular system. Are you getting me now? Where we have the podium, the sucker, and the ampulla, and all like that. And in their locomotion, what happens in their locomotion is that the ampulla contracts and water is forced into the podia. The podia elongate and project through the ambulacral groove. Then the sucker are applied to the substratum. Then the tube fits. It now contracts and push the body forward. Are you getting me now? So that is how they move. Then once the ampulla contracts again, the water enter, it is forced through into the podia, and the process repeats itself. That is how they move. And this is this one that I'm showing now is, look at it, the water vascular system as well as the digestive system of this group of animals. So this is a starfish, right? Now you see in their reproduction they have 10 gonads. 10 gonads. And these gonads, they have five arms. Look at it. That's what I'm trying to show you. 10 gonads. There are two gonads in each arms. They have two gonads in each arms. Are you getting me now? Fertilization of this group of animal is external, and the egg hatch into a bipinnate larva, which metamorphosize into another larva called the branchiolaria larva, which develop into a young sister that is a pentaradiate or radially symmetric. Right? Now that is what you have there. Remember, 10 gonads, each two in each arms, right? That is what you have. Now let us move to the opioidae. That is the opiotrix. Now look at it. If you check this very well, you will see that the arm is clearly marked. Look at the central disc. Can you see the arm? You will see that this is where the arm starts from. So the arm is clearly marked from the what? From the central disc. That is one of their thing. So the member of this class is they are flat, they are star-shaped, they are free living like the asteroids, which are closely related. Like they are very closely related to the asteroid. And the mouth of this species is located at the oral surface. Hmm? Ambulacral groove is absent in this group of animal. Pedicellary is absent. And the larval form is called the opiopletus. That is the larval form. Example include the opiotrix, opioderma, opiocoma, and opiorura. But this one that you are seeing here is an opiotrix, also known as the Bristol star. So this is called the Bristol star. The Bristol star. Are you getting me now? So this is their structure. This is their anatomy. This is the anatomy. They follow the same pattern with the likes of the portal vascular system and all like that that we have here. But remember that I told you they have no what? They have no um pedicellary, no ambulacral groove, and the larval form is called the what? The ophiopetus. Right? Now let us move to the next. So this is the how they look like. This is a Bristol star. You will see the spine. Can you see they are spinous? That is where they got their name, echinoderms. Now, let us move to the echinoderms. That is the sea urchins. You all know the sea urchins. Now, the body of this group of animals is globular or disc-like. They have a chewing apparatus known as the Aristotle lantern. So let me show you where it is. So if you trace this diagram, you will see this particular part that they marked called the Aristotle lantern. And this Aristotle lantern is a chewing apparatus, the jaw apparatus. And the reason why they call it Aristotle lantern is because it resembles the lantern of the olden days Greek, like the ancient Greek lantern. That's why they call it Aristotle lantern. Now, this Aristotle lantern is used for biting and for chewing. They don't have ambulacral groove, and the larval form are Plutus or an echinopletus. An example includes echinus and echinocardium, that is the sea urchins, the sand dollar, and the heart urchins. They have they are of two types. Hmm? We have the regular and irregular one, but we're talking about that one maybe in the next few videos that we're going to be making. But we are just looking at their general characteristic. And remember, I told you they have globular or disc-like. They have compact body. They have no protruding arms or wrists. Are you getting me now? Now, and I mentioned that there are regular and irregular. You see, the regular echinodes, they inhabit hard substrates such as rocks. An example is Echinus esculenta. And the irregular one are modified for burrowing into sandy or muddy substrates. Example is earth urchins, that is echinocardium. So that is, I told you they have regular, they have what? Two types. Regular, those are the one that stays on rock, and irregular, those are the one that burrow into the mud. An example of regular is the Echinus esculenta. This one that I see here, that is sea urchins. An example of irregular is the earth urchins, that is echinocardium, right? Now let us move to this, how they look like. This is the anatomy, to feet, radial canal, everything that they possess. In the ones that I've explained, the general characteristic is the same thing that they possess. Fertilization is external, and it develops into a young echinode, which is echinopletus. Now, let us move to the next one, which is Holothuroidae. Holothuroidae, the living example, the living representative is the Holothura, that is the sea cucumber, Cucumaria sp. Now, the body is elongated and cylindrical. The oral end is surrounded by what? It is surrounded by tentacles. Ambulacral groove is absent. Spine and pedicellary is absent. The larval form are auricularia and duliolaria. That is the name of their larval form. The internal skeleton of calcium carbonate is reduced to microscopic ossicle, and they possess a pair of respiratory tree. This is how they look like. I'm looking for a respiratory tree. I can't find it here, but this is how Cucumaria sp look like. A sea cucumber. Now they have a what? A pair of respiratory tree, and their body is slender, elongated, and bilaterally symmetrical. The body does not project into arms. They have no arms, such as the ones of asteroidae, right? And this animal feed on plant skins. They feed on plant skins. There is, like I said, there's presence of respiratory tree, and water is pumped out for respiration and excretion. Sexes of this group of animals are separate. Mm, They have separate sexes. And an example is Olotria and Cucumaria sp, that is sea cucumber. These are how they look like. Now let us move to the last one, that is the Crinoidae. Crinoidae is the most primitive of all living classes of echinoderm. The body is divided into three parts. That is the stem, the calyx, and the arms. So the stem, the calyx, and what? And the arms. That's what the body is divided into. And crinoids are attached by a segment of calcareous stalk at some stage in their life history. Now, they have a central disc which is attached to a substratum, and the arm are branched dichotomously, having 10 arms. They have 10 arms. Spine, pedicellaria, and madreporites are absent, and the larval form is dolorea. They are commonly called the feather star or sea lilies. An example includes the anthedon, feather star, and sea lilies. They feed on plant skin as well with the aid of their feather-like arms. So the trap food items are propelled into the mouth, which leads to the short esophagus, and they lack true stomach. They don't have a true stomach. The esophagus connects to the intestine, which leads to the rectum and the anus. Right? So look at I've shown everything in this image that I'm showing here. The mouth to the anus. Can you see? From the mouth to the esophagus, from the esophagus to the intestine, from the intestine to the anus. You understand? To the rectum, and from the rectum to the anus. That is how they feed. Now, this is their structure. This is the main structure of this thing. And this is how they look like. Can you see? Something like a feather. So that's why they call them the feather stars. Right? We call them the feather stars. So the sexes of this group of animal, which is the feather star, the sexes are separate, and the eggs it hatch into a larva called the vitelligear larva with a short swimming existence, after which it settles down to the bottom, attach itself and metamorphosize into a stalk sessile stage called the pentacrinoid larva that resemble a minute sea lilies. Then they develop into an adult sea feather or feather star or sea lilies. Remember, sexes are separate and fertilization is external. So in this video, we have mentioned the concept of, we have introduced ourselves to the concept of the phylum Echinoderms. So just make sure that you subscribe to our channel. In the next video, we'll be talking about um, a lot of phylums and the classes under the animal kingdom. Thank you so much. Really appreciate